Hi, I'm Greg Hudson, otherwise known as Jan Hudson's husband, actually. So a lot of you probably don't know me, but if you've been around our church, you probably do. I just wanted to share my testimony with the church. But if you've been to this church for a long time, you probably know who I am. And you know that I come on a regular basis. And if you know me real well, you probably think I'm a pretty good guy. But I'm here to tell you my testimony of what's happened recently to me. Actually, the transformation that's happened in my life. I'm gonna back up to where I was raised in a church background. Actually, I don't remember it, but my mom, her and a girlfriend of hers led me to the Lord. And through that process, I went to a Christian school, and was raised in a Christian house. I was struggling with the same sins, it seemed like, and I'll just be blunt, my anger issues, wondering why I can't get a grip on this, and come to church through my walk, come to church and be convicted about it, and then ask for forgiveness. And the weird thing is before the sun set that night, struggle with my anger issues, and so wondering at that time, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get a grip on this? And sometimes come to church and say, Lord, be convicted, forgive me of my sins, come into my life. And I said these things. What we say, I think a lot of Christians, I use that term again, in America, they look at what they've done and what they've said. Like I looked at what I said way back when I was a kid, or even through my life, what I said to him, but there wasn't the change in my life. Through this learning that there has to be change, I looked at things that I had done, and then reading in the Bible where there's some men that came to Jesus and said, Lord, Lord, did we not cast out demons in your name? Did we not perform miracles? Did we not say this? Did we not say that? And he said, away from me, I never knew you, you evildoer. So what I realized through this is that I didn't know Christ and he didn't know me. And now I know him and he knows me. That's how I know now. I got it nailed down. I'm a different person. There's change in my life. My son says to me, who are you and what do you do with my father? So the things I struggled with before in my walk, I don't struggle with those. No, I'm not saying I don't sin anymore. I'm saying that the same ones that I was struggling with, I haven't had a problem with like I did before. And the only explanation I have for that is now the Holy Spirit lives inside of me and he didn't before.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Lonsbery, and I'm going to share my testimony with you. I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm going to read my testimony. I work with Greg Hudson. One morning before work, we were talking, and Greg told me about this group study they were doing, and he was not sure if he was a fan or a follower, because everything he said he was reading makes him sound like a fan. And I said, well, I have been baptized and said a prayer. He looked at me and said, that's what I am talking about. And I said, what do you mean? And he explained to me about making Jesus Lord and Master of your life and meaning it with all your heart. And then it hit me that maybe I wasn't saved and I was going in the wrong direction. I was young and I thought you get baptized and say a prayer, it's all good and you get a ticket to heaven. Then Greg said, well, let's talk to Pastor James about this. And I said, okay, so we called Pastor James and set up an appointment that day. And the two of them sure did teach me a lot. And then I talked to Pastor James and said, well, I'd like to make Jesus Lord and Master of my life. And he said, well, we can do this right now. Well, since I've made Jesus Lord and Master of my life and meant it with all my heart, I'm not struggling with any of the sins I was struggling with before. And I've been going to Grace Church for about 6 weeks in a row now, and I am in my Bible almost every day, and I feel a lot better in life general. I am so glad I talked to Greg and did that 180-degree turn in my life. I was heading somewhere I did not even have a clue I was going. You can't ask for better friends than Greg and Jan. I can call them anytime and they will listen, or we can get the Bible out and study every morning before we go to work. Or if I have struggles or a problem, they will help and get me through it. I would like to thank Pastor James, Greg, and Jan for what they have done in my life. I have met a lot of nice and fun, energetic people at Grace Church. I'd like to thank Jesus for becoming Lord and Master of my life.
Now that I am a true believer and a follower of Christ, He has burdened me for the church. How many people are out there that are maybe like the Greg Hudson, where I feel like now the decision I made was, I'm going to put it like this, fire insurance. Instead of surrendering, instead of becoming a slave to Christ and Him being my master, and turning and saying, okay, I'm all yours now, instead of Greg Hudson being the Lord of my life and the master of my life. So my name is Greg Hudson, and I am a Christ follower, and I'm not a fan, and I am a man who knows Christ, and He knows me.